Hi, my name is Marie, and I like to make things, and I like to turn around and show you how I made those things. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I like to make things. I may not know how to make those things, but I'm quite sure I have the right tools to do so. Sometimes I know what I'm doing, and sometimes I don't. But guess what? You get to watch me try to figure that stuff out. If you like that kind of stuff, then subscribe. If you don't, just like this video. I don't know how YouTube algorithms work. Who does? So today we're going to do a braided ring. Here's another version of the braided ring with bigger beads. These are e-beads. I wanted to try what different types of beads so that if you don't have the same beads that I have, you could still accomplish this project. The supplies you're gonna need. What I have is these, they're kind of square-ish, but they are e-bead size. So e-bead size, I'm not familiar with the actual size, but they say 6/0. Those are good. And I got these from a closeout, but I will try to find something equivalent for you guys, okay? You need your chain nose pliers. You need a couple lengths of this 24 gauge copper wire. You need your flush cutters, not flesh cutters, flush cutters. You need a ruler and a mandrel to keep your size within your parameters of your fingers, okay? But before we get into this, I want to tell you about our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Carlisle Clay. I mean, look at these earrings. Each piece is from a different place that she has traveled to. I mean, that's genius. That's genius. So this is their website right here, which you will find is a very easy to navigate, very easy on the eyes, just a beautiful website. But look at these things. Beautiful. Beautiful color placement, beautiful color choices. I love it. Throw in some white in there. Yeah, I love it. These pieces inspire confidence and they spread joy. And I tell you what, if you want some of that joy, I highly encourage you to check out Carlisle Clay in all her different pieces that she has available. And also make sure to follow them on Instagram so you can stay up to date on any new pieces that she's putting out. You don't want to miss this. Again, Carlisle Clay, inspiring confidence and spreading joy. Thank you so much, Carlisle Clay, for sponsoring this video. Okay, so I went ahead and cut my beads off of the string that they were on. So the first thing that I did was I took my 24 gauge wire, took my ruler, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a 10-inch piece of this wire. 10, let's cut it. Boom, set your wire aside. This may not seem like a lot of wire, but guess what? We're gonna fold that in half. So let's fold that in half, make a nice little loop at the end, much like this. And then we're gonna set that aside. Okay, next we're gonna measure off another piece of this 24 gauge copper wire. Measure off a 6-inch piece. Okay. And so we got this nice little piece right here. So now taking our little 10-inch piece of wire that we folded in half, we're gonna take this 6-inch piece and we're gonna take like a little bit of it on the end here. And we're gonna wrap it around, creating a nice little loop right here, okay? So this takes a little bit of skill to like get your fingers right because this wire is so thin. You want to make sure that the longer piece is pointing down with these wires right here. So you want to make sure that this little shorter piece is in line with these two other pieces of the folded in half piece. Then this piece at the top is the short little end of that 6-inch piece. We're just wrapping it around to secure it to the loop. Now I am wrapping this pretty darn loosely, and the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can push it up to tighten the loop So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to push it up to get it close to that end there, because we don't want too much overlapping. And then I'm going to smash it down so that it's not moving all around. And make sure you secure the absolute end of it so that it's not sticking you later on. When you slide that ring on, you're gonna get a Megan Fox ring where you cannot take it off without scratching your whole finger. You know, that's a myth. They had a jewelry maker who made a video who said, yeah, that's a myth. He like scared that girl into, okay, we ain't gonna talk about that. So now we have this all smashed up. This is what it looks like. So we got a nice little loop right here that we're gonna use later on. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just needs to be a loop. And then we have our wire, this is our end of our 6-inch piece that we wrapped around here. We're gonna pull this and make sure that it's in between the 2 pieces of the 10-inch wire that we folded in half, okay? Because that is the wire, this middle piece is the wire that's gonna hold on all your beads, okay? So we wanna make sure it's in the middle. We wanna make sure it looks neat and it doesn't look like it's like folding on itself and it just doesn't look neat at all. So I'm just trying to neaten this up. Let me see if you guys can see it. I'm not exactly sure if you can see it because this wire is so thin, but this is just my attempt at making it look neat. It's very easy to make this look really messy and you don't want that. Otherwise, you're not gonna wanna wear it. So I made it as neat as possible, okay? All the wires are going to where they need to go. We got this middle wire. So I think in my live when I attempted this design that I had strung all the beads on and then I started wrapping them. I found that to be messy. Each time that I did it afterwards, I was like, why am I stringing all these beads on? You could do 1 at a time or 3 at a time. So I'm just gonna do 3 at a time. So I got this bead all the way down and snug. I'm putting it snug in between these 2 wires. You know what, let's do 1 at a time. It's just easier. So we got our bead, it's all nice and snug. Now, this technique that I'm using to braid these beads onto this wire, I remember way back in the day when I was in camp, and I remember we used to do these macrame bracelets. They call them macrame or knotted bracelets, but there was this one that was my favorite. It had 2 strings in the middle, and it had 1 string on either side of those. The string in the middle just stays the string in the middle. That's how you know how long you want your bracelet to be. But the strings on the side wrapped around those strings in the middle, kind of hugging it in and knotting it in place. And it was always nice without beads. It still looks pretty cool, but it looks so much better with beads. In this case, we're wrapping these 2 wires around this middle wire, which is holding your bead. So you want to hug it in place. So to do that, you have to have 1 wire that goes underneath the middle wire, and then you have to have the other side go over top. So basically they're going like this and they're cupping the bead in place. And then once you keep going up the loop or up the string with all the beads, they start to lock into place and they don't come unraveled. If that doesn't make any sense, I decided that I was gonna go look for a macrame video that explains it a little bit better. But, you know, you're more than welcome to go to that first so you can wrap your brain around it, because it's not a really easy concept to master. I kind of think it's an easy concept to master. And I think that I'd be able to show you as I go, okay? This wire right here always goes underneath this wire. This wire over here is always going to go over top of this wire. That makes sense? Let me demonstrate it for you. So, like I said, this wire is always going to go underneath, and then this wire is always going to go over top. So what I'm going to do is I have to have my finger I have to have my bead. As you can see, there's a little indent in my finger because I was really pressing on this bead. That's how hard you need to press on this bead, just to keep it in place. I'm even taking the bead and putting it back in that divot in my finger. Oh, Lord. Make sure you have your bead held steady between your fingers. Now we're gonna take this wire and we're gonna go underneath this wire. Okay, so we're going underneath it and pushing our wire to the other side. Now we have two on one side. We don't want that, okay? So now we're going to take this other wire and go over top of this middle wire. Now, let me show you, and I'm pulling these two sides. We never touch this wire at all. So I'm gonna pull these two sides. So this bead is not coming off. It's locked in there because I held it in place with my finger, okay? So now we have a locked bead. Now we're going to take another bead and we're gonna put that on. Boom. Like before, we're gonna take these two fingers. We're basically taking these two fingers and holding the bead in place so it's not going up and down the wire, and we're holding the wire, the middle wire, steady. Then we're gonna take this side and we're gonna go underneath this middle wire, pulling it as we go. Then we're gonna take the other side and we're gonna go over top of this middle wire. Okay, now this is what it looks like. We braiding. Okay, now let me string on another bead. Okay, now we are going to put our fingers together, holding that bead. I'm pulling the wire in the middle just to make sure that it's straight and it's not bent anywhere. Then we're gonna take this, we're gonna go under and then over. Yeah, there we go. That's how easy it is. This is really, to me, if you're doing like a little ring, I really want to do a bracelet though, but not for this video. Okay, so now take our finger, pinch the bead, pull the middle wire, take this side, go under, take this side, go over, and there we go. Okay, string on another bead. I'm really doing really well, I think, with focusing on stringing these beads on because, dude. All right, so we're taking our fingers, we're pinching the bead, then we're gonna go under, and then we're gonna go over. Okay, and I like to twist them just to make sure that the beads are all laying flat. So that's what we have. Okay, string on another bead. Now with these beads, I'm not exactly sure how many I would need for a ring. That's why we have our little handy dandy ring manual on hand to make sure that we're not doing too much. Okay, so now I'm going to take my fingers, pinch the bead, pull the middle wire, take the side, go under, take the left side, go over, and then here we go. And I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how many did I do? And I mean, it's up to you because you can even go a little bit further with your beads, but I decided not to. This one is an E bead. This is kind of the equivalent to these beads I'm using. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're looking at 8 beads. I might do 9 beads. Initially, I said, you know, have 9 beads when I was planning this video out and when I was doing the live. I did do 9 beads, but it's up to you how you want your ring to look. Pinch, pull your wire in the middle, take your right hand side, go under, Take your left hand side, go over. Alrighty. All right. String on another bead. Pinch with your hand. Take the right hand side, go under. Take the left hand side, go over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, wait, I don't know how to count. Do I now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8. Let's do one more. String on our bead. Take our 2 fingers, pinch our bead, pull the middle wire, right hand side, go under, left hand side, go over, and there we have it. So there you go. So you got a nice length for a ring. So now I'm going to pull my ring mandrel into the frame. Alrighty. Okay, the first thing you want to do is to check to see if you have enough for a ring. I have a size 6, so I'm just going to put the ring on the size 6. And I feel like, let me go like that. Okay. Now I feel like I want to do one more bead because I want my beads to go all the way around. So I'm going to do one more bead. I'm going to string it on. And this, at this point, when you're checking to see the size of the ring, you're basically checking to see how many beads you need or how many beads you don't want. So I want my beads to go all the way around my ring. So I'm going to put on another bead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm at 10 beads. Pinch, pull the middle wire, right hand side, go under, left hand side, go over. And so I know that that's how many beads I want on here. So what I'm going to do to end this off, we had our sides that we were twisting around this middle. We're going to do that same thing. So we're going to take this right hand side and go over to the left. Take this left hand side, go over to the right. And you're just twisting them in unison. You can even take it and when they're all on one side of the ring, take them and twist them at the same time. So I don't want that many twists on it. This is what it should look like. Nothing crazy. All you're doing is just ending off this bead. All you're doing is ending off this ring. And you're just gonna cut it with your flush cutters. There we go. Now let's take our chain nose and smush those ends down so that they're not going to pinch us and scratch us later. I'm not doing very well here. And just rub your finger along it just to make sure that there's nothing pokey trying to kill you. And now what we're left is this middle wire. And so I'm gonna put it back on my ring mandrel at this point, okay? So I'm just judging and checking to see how much room I have here. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this middle one, this middle wire, and go into that loop we made in the very beginning. Okay. And pulling it closed. And so what I want to do is slip it back onto my ring mandrel, okay? Because I want to make sure that I'm not making this ring too small. So I'm going to pull, I'm taking the wire and I'm pulling it, whereas it is creating its own little loop, okay? So now that we have kind of one loop here and one loop here, we are going to take this wire, I'm going to leave it on the ring mandrel while I'm doing this. Take our chain nose, pull, don't pull too hard now. This is 24 gauge wire, so it's like, it's really touchy, and it always wants to pinch on its own, on itself, which is not a good look. So once I know that this is a size 6, yep, that's a size 6, I'm going to take this end wire that we folded on itself, and then now it's locked in. So now I can just start wrapping and creating a nice little wrap to fill in this little bit of wire that's left, okay? All right, and I'm gonna put it back onto my ring mandrel. It's a little tight, but that's how I want it. And now after that, we are going to cut this last little bit of wire. All right, we're gonna take our chain nose and we're gonna pinch down the end. Okay. It's good to rub your finger on it just to make sure it's not going to scratch you later. And there you go. What's awesome about these is that you can actually stack them. Look at that. Yay! Again, thank you to my sponsor, and thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I love your guys' comments, so keep them coming. Make sure to tune into my live, which is every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So on my live broadcast, you guys can catch a glimpse of what YouTube videos I have coming up soon. Also, keep in mind my merch. Right here today, I am wearing a crop top. You're not going to see the bottom of the crop top. I'm being comfortable in my studio. Okay. But it's a cute little crop top. It's not, all right, fine. Gee willikers. It's not like crazy, it's not crazy crop top, but you know, see a little bit of belly, but yeah. But basically it's like, you know, a short shirt. Let's just say it's a short shirt, okay? Okay, okay. And also my earrings, these are all the stuff you can find on my website, MartianCreations.com. Other than that, you guys, I will see you in the next video. The next video that I'm going to be doing is haha, found it. You thought I didn't know what I was talking. Okay, I found it. So the next video we're doing is this ring, which is the beveled ring, little bevel thing. Look at that. Cute little beveled ring. Look how it is from the profile of it. Looks really cute. Okay, that's what the next video is going to be. So other than that, you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye. Bye-bye.